The world of AI is moving so ridiculously fast that trying to predict what's happening in 2 years feels like trying to predict the next century. But that's exactly what we're going to try to do. We're going to break down the biggest predictions for AI in 2026. From the core technology all the way to the culture wars, it is absolutely about to kick off.
So let's start with this number, 4.5 months. Just look at it for a second. What on earth could that mean? Well, it turns out this might be the single most important number for understanding everything that comes next.
That's right. 4.5 months is the new doubling time for AI capabilities. It used to be 7 months, which was already insane. Now it's 4.5. This incredible, staggering acceleration, well, that's the engine driving every single prediction we're about to get into. And we're going to start with the engine itself, the AI models. Okay, so to really get a handle on where we're going, we have to start with the models themselves, right? The brains of the operation. And the first huge change is that the whole idea of waiting for one giant world-shaking AI model to drop, yeah, that's over. So forget waiting around, holding your breath for some massive Big Bang release like a GPT-5. The labs learned that building up those massive expectations is just way too risky. The new reality, the new normal, is a constant stream of updates. Think 5.1. Then 5.2, then a version that's just for coding. It's maybe a little less dramatic, sure, but it means we're going to have new tools to play with all the time.
And here's where it gets really interesting for us, for the users. Once all the top models are just astonishingly good, we're going to stop picking them based on who has the highest benchmark score. We're going to start choosing them based on their personality, their vibe. Does this AI actually get my sense of humor? Does it write in a style that I like? It's going to get personal. So, that begs the question, right? If that core intelligence basically becomes a commodity, something everyone has, where does the real fight for AI dominance even happen? The battle is shifting to totally new fronts. It's not just about being smart anymore. It's about who can master these very specific areas, generating unbelievable images and video, creating user interfaces that feel like magic. And this one's a biggie, the world of coding. And that brings us to what is, I think, a genuine paradigm shift. The entire idea of who gets to make software and how they do it. It's being completely rewritten from the ground up. This all leads to one of the most powerful concepts we're going to see in 2026, vibe coding. And it means exactly what it sounds like. You create software not by writing lines of code, but just by describing the vibe you want, in plain English. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi thing. We are talking about building real, practical, personal tools. Imagine just describing a simple app to track gift ideas for your family, or a fitness tracker that's built perfectly for how your brain works, not some generic template. This is where vibe coding stops being an idea and becomes real for millions of people. So what this does really is it lowers the barrier to entry down to basically zero. So get ready for a whole new wave of AI app entrepreneurs, people building and selling super niche software without ever needing a single dollar from venture capital. The entire economic model just gets flipped on its head. And because of this, here's a bold prediction for you. Those template-based website builders, yeah, they are on their very last legs. I mean, why would you ever again mess around with a clunky template when you can just describe the exact site you're imagining and have an AI build it for you? All right, so let's zoom out from the individual creators and look at the corporate battlefield, because this isn't just about a few entrepreneurs in their garage. This is a high-stakes war between the huge AI labs. So here's kind of the state of play for 2026. You've got Anthropic, who's predicted to keep its top spot in coding. Their biggest problem? Honestly, just staying focused. Then there's OpenAI. They have the unbeatable consumer brand with ChatGPT, but they are getting pulled in a million different directions, consumer, business, and this moonshot race for AGI. And then you have Google, the absolute juggernaut of multimodal. They're the best at handling text, images, and video all at once. Their challenge isn't the technology, it's getting people to actually prefer using their stuff. And speaking of OpenAI, you might want to brace yourself for this one. With the immense pressure they're under to hit these massive revenue targets, yeah, ads in ChatGPT feel pretty much inevitable. The market is just going to demand it. And you need to keep an eye on a new conflict that's brewing. On one side, you have the big model labs like OpenAI, but then you have these smaller, specialized agent labs. These are the companies building the tools that actually use the big models. And here's the thing.
These smaller labs have incredibly valuable data on what you're actually doing, and that data could give them the leverage to challenge the giants. Okay, let's zoom out one last time. All of this tech, it doesn't exist in a bubble, right? It's about to send some major shockwaves through our society and our politics. This quote, it just perfectly captures this powerful, populist, anti-AI story that's starting to build. It's simple, it's emotional, and it is going to be a huge political theme in 2026. But of course, the simple story is almost never the whole story. The reality is, well, it's a lot more complicated. Okay, so take a look at this chart. It went viral. It seems to show the stock market going up and up while job openings go down. And the easy story is to just blame AI, but if you actually look at the data, the split didn't start when ChatGPT came out. It started months earlier, right when the Fed began hiking interest rates. AI is definitely a factor, but it is not the whole story. So what does this all mean for politics? Well, affordability is going to be the #1 issue, and AI is going to become the perfect scapegoat for pretty much everything. Fighting against new data centers will be a winning message for politicians, and you can bet that almost every single corporate layoff will get blamed on AI, whether it's actually true or not. And all this is going to trigger a really fascinating cultural backlash. Expect to see the rise of what you could call artisanal anti-AI. Products, art, services, they're going to be marketed with a human-made label, and that label is going to become a new kind of luxury symbol. So all of this, it leads to one final really crucial question. As we move from a world where we do the tasks to a world where we manage the AI that does the tasks for us, what does that relationship even look like? By 2026, are we going to be the managers of these intelligent agents, or are we somehow going to be the ones being managed?